Alright, so I'm going to try something a little different today, and the reason I came across doing this subject about how Mad Max Fury Road is a necessity to see. I've had friends in my personal life, and they choose to see movies like Pixels or Fantastic Four over movies like Mad Max Fury Road. Um, that's one reason I'm doing this video. I'm doing it for them mainly, but my other reason is that I've noticed some things as I've seen the movie again that I didn't notice when I first saw the movie in theaters, and after watching and examining it a few more times, I respect the movie more. So I wanted to go over the 5 reasons why I think that Mad Max Fury Road is a necessity to watch, that you need to see it. Number one is the visuals. On a scale of visuals alone, this movie is grandiose. It is amazing. It is spectacular. The visuals are fantastic. The makeup prosthetics, the filters for friggin' visuals, like these yellow, orangey textures of filters added to the frame all make this a very surreal experience, and I feel like all the prosthetics going into all that just makes it feel like a very atmospheric post-apocalyptic movie. Um, and that is why the visuals are a necessity for this movie. They're just gorgeous. Number two is the action. Um, the action is fantastic. There are long takes of people driving cars and real cars flipping, like all this crap is real. Real cars exploding, stunt people on poles. I mean, it is amazing. People are getting their butts kicked, and it is real. It is actually happening. People are driving cars while flipping them and having people fight on top of them. It is fantastic. It is just, the action is why this movie exists. It is a 2-hour action sequence, but it's more than that in my opinion. So that's where we're gonna start getting into it here. So number three is the characters. I mentioned in my original video that it kind of lacked character development, and sure, I guess it does, but all at the same time, this is why I put this here. The visuals might tell the story, like it's a visually told movie, but the characters that drive this movie home also tell the story just as well with their facial expressions and their all their body language and their eyes. Like they tell it all with their eyes as well, and it's fantastic. You can see what a pain behind some of these people. It is just amazing. George Miller himself has said that he liked to use minimal dialogue for scenes, and he only liked to use dialogue when it was necessary, and I feel like he captured that perfectly. And with the scenes of this movie, there's plenty of dialogue, but only when it's necessary, and that's why I found this movie to be very great in its storytelling aspect. Is the way the characters looked at people, and you could see a world behind these people's eyes, a backstory. I think that is something that is very commendable about this movie. So number four is the effort. All these alter cars are handmade cars. I'm not kidding. Like all this is handmade suits and outfits. Um, all these stuntmen on poles and crap. This took effort and choreography and storyboards to figure out. This whole movie was basically written on storyboards. I'm not kidding. I watched the bonus features. Um, that is why this movie is so well realized. It's because they put so much effort into it. Unlike movies like Pixels, Fantastic Four, these movies have no effort put into them whatsoever, and that is why, or another reason why, I think Mad Max Fury Road is a perfect example of a movie that has effort put into it. Everyone is committed, and I think that is a fantastic job. And number five is the message, and the reason I mentioned the message, there is a big message about humanity in this movie, and how it has fallen, and how not everyone goes insane, and how some people just want to find a normal life, really. I mean, they don't tell you that in the movie, obviously, but George Miller has come out and said that people like characters like Max in the movie, he just wants to go home, but he has no home to go to. Like, stuff like that. Charlize Theron's, Furiosa, she has, she's trying to get these women to this place where she was, born. I'm not gonna spoil too much about the movie. And when they kind of reach where they want to go, in a way, I'm not gonna say too much about the movie, if you haven't seen it yet. Let's just say that, Charlize Theron has probably her best, like, freak out, scene ever, and it wasn't even much of a freak out. She's just lying there in the sand, just screaming at whatever, the heavens, I guess. And that scene is so powerful, and that just tells you something about the movie, and how even if everyone goes insane, there's always a little bit of humanity somewhere. Even Immortan Joe, who really, he has these 5 wives, and I feel, this is just my own philosophical little thing. I feel that Immortan Joe isn't really an awful guy. He just doesn't really have a place, and he doesn't know what he should do. He has medical conditions. He's just an old guy. If he didn't try to rule everything and come into power of everyone, then he would have just been one of these people that are just like his subjects, I guess I can call them. So even he has a bit of humanity behind him. He has these 5 wives just so he can breed, I guess. He wants to feel important, I feel. He doesn't show that in the movie, but I feel like that's just my philosophical thing behind him. Because everyone in this movie has a little shred of humanity behind him, no matter how mad they are. And that is something I think Mad Max Fury Road does fantastically. So that is why you need to see Mad Max Fury Road. My friends mainly, I'm talking to you mainly. But if you have not seen this movie, it is great. While it does slow down a little in the second act, only for about 15 minutes or so, it picks back up immediately. And I feel like the movie is not just a 2-hour car chase, really, like I said. There is a story behind these characters, and you can see it through their eyes and their body language. And the minimal use of dialogue was fantastic. I loved all that. The effort put into this movie was amazing. And that is why I feel like you need to see Mad Max Fury Road. Alright, so don't even rent this movie. Buy this movie. Buy it on Blu-ray or whatever, the most expensive place you can find it. This movie deserves all your money. I know it wasn't a flop at all. Right now it's standing at like $153 million domestically on the box office. But I feel like not enough mainstream audiences have seen this movie. But yeah, so that was my in-depth analysis of why I feel like Mad Max Fury Road is a necessity to watch. I don't know why I made this video, really. I was originally just going to do a Blu-ray review, but I felt that I wanted to go more in detail about why I really just love this movie. And while I still have a couple problems with the movie, it's a great movie. But yeah, so that is whatever this in-depth analysis of Mad Max Fury Road. So peace.